What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. And in this video, we are jumping into Batman issue 137. And as we are coming out of the events of Night Terrors, it is jumping us almost immediately into the Gotham War. Now, if you haven't checked out the Batman-Catwoman battle lines, this is where it all begins. I have a video already set up, you guys can go check it out. The quick gist of it, Catwoman is doing her own thing. She is taking the henchmen of people like the Joker, like Penguin, and she is turning them not necessarily into reformed criminals, but she's turning them into Robin Hoods. People that steal from the rich. She's turning them into professional cat burglars. And because of this, violent crime has dropped. And while Catwoman definitely believes that she is doing the right thing, Batman obviously disagrees. But this has caused a divide within the Bat family. While some see her methods as working, others are obviously against it. And so the line in the sand has been drawn. And now it is time that everybody chooses a side. And I'm telling you right now, this is not a comic you are gonna want to miss. The Gotham War is shaping up to be absolutely phenomenal. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we are picking up with two individuals who are breaking into a place, trained by Catwoman. If it were not for Batman, these guys would have probably gotten away with it. But right now, Batman is on the warpath. He is like this because of what we had seen in the Gotham War Battle Lines issue. One of Catwoman's people broke into a house only to get shot dead. And with Roland dead, his son left an orphan. This sent Batman off, because Catwoman's methods aren't working like she believes so. People are still dying. Crimes are still being committed. While violent crime may be down, one death is never acceptable. And so now Batman is working to bring down the entire operation, and he has been relentless. 4 of their graduates have been picked off over the last 2 nights. And it's not just them. Fright was arrested. She said that her fear toxin didn't even faze Batman. And at one point, she could have sworn that she heard Batman laughing. After that, he hit the Iceberg Lounge. Batman has been out here and he has been getting to work. And so now Catwoman is left wondering, how do we deal with Batman? And her plan is to distract him. To do that with his biggest mistake. That's where she gives the order to call up Jason Todd. Now, as we are taken to the streets of Gotham, Batman currently taking down Jimmy Milford, because Jimmy has been moving up in the world. With no more Mr. Freeze, he has been branching out on his own. But then we have the arrival of Tim Drake Robin, and Tim is asking, don't you think you're going pretty hard on this guy? By Robin's count, that is 8 of Catwoman's people that he has rounded up. Not to mention that he just went through everything with Failsafe, with Red Mask, with Insomnia. He's telling him that maybe you should take a break. But the way Batman sees it, that somebody in this city, somebody in Gotham has to do their job. Asking Robin if he is here to stop him, or if he is just gonna still sit on the fence, trying to figure out which crimes is okay to shortcut. Now, Tim tries to tell him that nothing is black and white, but the way Batman sees it, death is. You're either alive or you're not. And right now, Roland Garland is dead. His child is an orphan. Their job is to do their best to save everybody. As Batman makes his exit, he says that he has already called the police to pick up this criminal. That if Batman finds out he helped him in any way, he will arrest Tim Drake himself. This is what takes us to a conversation between Nightwing, Tim Drake, and Oracle. And Nightwing is saying that Batman is out of control, while Oracle, she thinks it's the opposite. She understands what's going on with Batman better than anybody else in this situation. Batman is doing this to be in control, after weeks of being asleep, not to mention flinging about the multiverse. And then you add Selina Kyle into the whole mess. Batman is slipping out of control. This is his way of trying to get that control back. And Tim Drake is really feeling this, especially after everything that went down with Batman. Batman is angry. He is angry at all of his children. And now Tim Drake worries about what he's going to do, how far he is willing to go. The question that they now have to ask themselves, do they just stay out of his way? And while Oracle says that she doesn't know, but if Selina does ask her for help, she will be inclined to give it. Jason Todd has been on the line the entire time saying that Selina is right, that she is out there saving lives. With every thief he stops, he's just driving them back to their old ways, driving them back to being henchmen, to violence. And so the way Jason Todd sees it, Batman is responsible for that violence, that they must stop Batman, or at the very least, stay one step ahead of him. But Nightwing tells Jason Todd that I need you to just chill, to lay low, don't do anything rash, because Nightwing is headed to Gotham to see if he can talk to Bruce about his moral ledge that he is standing on. But while the Bat family in the Gotham War is really just starting to form, it is building the foundation. All of the villains of Gotham have gotten together, because all of them have lost their henchmen. This has slowly been reverberating throughout Gotham. Now that they don't have any more lackeys to do their work for them, they see this as a problem. And so now they are banding together and they are going to figure out how to resolve this issue. Picking up a little bit later that evening, everything has been set up. Catwoman and the Bat family, they have set up an intervention, if you will. Making some alarms go off, they know that this is going to bring in Batman. They're luring him in, that way they can have a conversation with him. And so with the wall exploding, standing in the opening, we have Batman. Now Batman begins to make quick work of Selina Kyle's guys, as he is just beating the crap out of them. We have the arrival of Jason Todd, and Jason says, look at you, stopping the betterment of others, sorry I'm late. Batman saying that sometimes taking someone in and training them just leads to better criminals and murderers. Now obviously he is talking about Jason Todd being one of his biggest failures, or at least in Batman's eyes, because Jason Todd didn't follow the path of Batman. He has gone out, he has branched out and done his own thing. Batman even says in this comic that he created a mass murderer in Jason. And so how many is Selina Kyle creating? But as Jason and him continue to fight, Jason tells him that I am so sick of your grand arbiter of what is right and wrong. The fact is, you never grew up after your parents died. You have always been that 10-year-old little boy, and so you see the world as black and white. You refuse to accept that there are gray areas. This is where Batman tells him that if you think one death is fine, if it stops more death, then by this logic, I should kill you right now. This is where Tim Drake jumps in. He grabs Batman and he tells him to leave him alone. And now Batman understands that this is how it's going to be. A life of taking in people, teaching them everything that he knows. Zur-Anar had created Failsafe to be really one step ahead of Batman, to stop Batman if he ever needed to be stopped. But Batman had already created his own Failsafe. He created his family. This is where we have the arrival of the rest of the Bat family. This is where things are getting turned up. Nightwing, Spoiler, Batgirl, they're all coming in. And Nightwing tells Batman that you need to take a step back. And when he says no, the fight begins. Now Batman knows that Cassie is going to be the first attack. She's never been afraid to draw first blood. He knows that he has to take her out first. And then he focuses on Duke. Duke has the powers, which means he's next. Stephanie has no eye protection. That means that he is going to blind her and do it quickly. He knows all of their moves. He taught them everything that they know. And so this means the rest of the Bat family thinks they know how Batman will operate. But they don't. Not anymore. This is where Nightwing charges in, saying that this is insane and it has to stop. And Batman raises up his hand. The mechanical hand, we see smoke come pouring out. This is something that Nightwing wasn't expecting. This gives Batman the upper hand, but only for a moment, with Nightwing getting a great uppercut on Batman. Jason Todd kicking him in the stomach, kicking him out of the building. Batman goes falling and he lands on a car. As Jason Todd comes out of that building, getting ready to lay a smackdown on Batman. Out of left field, that is where we have Damian Wayne. He comes in with a heavy punch and cracks Jason Todd right across the face. with it completely shattering his mask. He tells Jason that I almost respected you, that he does what he needs to do in order to get the job done. Today, it's just the wrong job. As the Batmobile begins to pull up, Damian telling his father that it's all gonna be okay. Batman and Damian making their getaway, with Nightwing saying that it's over, that Batman is gone. Tim recognizes that he is gone in more than one way. And now the question is, what the heck do we do? Now, as we pick up a little bit later, we pick up with Selina Kyle. She is breaking the people out that have been captured by Batman. But while she's doing this, she gets a phone call. She has learned that Batman hit Alleytown. He destroyed their home. Everyone is scattered. With her smashing her phone on the ground, she takes off. And that's where we pick up with Bruce Wayne, with him currently at the Brownstone, monitoring everything that is ongoing. Right now, Batman is tired. Deep in his bones, he can feel this. And now he has to wonder, will the Bat family come for me in my home, here in the Brownstone? He likes to think not, but then he realizes he just did that to Selina Kyle. But Damian comes in saying remarkable, that what you did sends a strong, clear message. But he also mentions how that hand is so unique, wondering what else it can do. When Damian says that he wants one, Batman says that you really don't. But does he believe him? Because now Batman understands that the hand, it makes him stronger. It makes him better. This is when they get an alert, a ding-dong at the door, and when Bruce goes to answer, he finds a Mr. White from Gotham National Bank. This guy has been trying to contact him for weeks. He is here because the finances of Bruce Wayne are in utter shambles. To finance the Brownstone, they needed collateral. They needed Wayne Manor. And now that his finances have been so poorly done, the bank has taken that collateral. They have taken Wayne Manor. And so Batman takes off, immediately heading off to the manor. Usually he has contingencies, plans to stop things like this from ever happening. But all this upheaval in his life, his finances have been the last of his concern. Now he recognizes that he must have missed something or someone. Someone manipulating behind the scenes, taking Wayne Manor as a distraction. He knows that Selina Kyle must be behind this, because someone bought the manor from the bank. Would Selina Kyle really go this far? This is where he hears the voice of Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. He tells Batman that yes, she would. But if it wasn't Selina Kyle, they need to protect their secrets. If the new owner ever found the Batcave, it would ruin everything. Now he has to wonder, do I destroy the cave? The Batman of Zur-En-Arrh saying that ruining your useless facade as Batman doesn't matter. That you need the cave to wall off the manor from everything else. That it doesn't matter who is above sipping tea by the fire, that they can still use the cave. But he tells the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh to shut up, that he's in a cage. He is where he belongs, and his opinion does not matter in this case. This is where Batman falls down to the ground, telling himself that he's in control. But really, he's lost everything. His home, his family, his body is failing, and all he has left is the mission of being Batman. This is when we hear the clock entrance door open. Someone is here. We hear a voice, and as this individual comes down, we learn that this is Vandal Savage. He tells Batman that you are in my new home, and I presume that you are Bruce Wayne. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. There is a lot to unpack in this one. Really, what we have seen over the course of, I don't know, maybe the last 10 issues is Batman slipping. His body and mind. He has been taking a heavy toll. He has been needing a break for some time now. But now that the Gotham War has kicked off, that break is not coming. I believe that this is making Batman do irrational things, making him lash out when usually he would try to sit down and hash out the situation. That he so badly needs and wants to be in control, that he is turning against the very people that he cares and loves. Now, don't get me wrong, Batman isn't necessarily wrong in the situation. What Selina Kyle is doing isn't any better than being a criminal itself. Yes, you're not doing violent crimes, but it doesn't change the fact that you're just moving the crime over. And it doesn't negate the fact that violence can still happen regardless of the crime itself not necessarily being a violent crime. Now, the rest of the family, they're young and naive. It's easy to see how they could see this, at least by face value, and understand that something is happening, that at least violent crime is lower. But Selina Kyle should know better. She thinks that she is making the world a better place, but she's really not. She's only creating a situation, like Batman said, you're creating a situation where you're taking criminals and you're giving them a highly set trained of skills. This has the makings for some very dangerous people. The problem here is failure of communication. Batman is losing control, so he has no want or need to try and compromise or talk to anybody. But Tim Drake was right about one thing. Batman right now is seeing the world as black and white. He is refusing to accept that there are gray areas. This is mostly because he has lost so much control that it is his attempt of really lashing out and trying to get that control back. But after this fight, it is obvious that people are about to choose sides. Things are about to get to the point of no return. Even Nightwing during the fight was saying that this is insane. Like, I cannot believe that we are doing this right now. But Nightwing was also left with no other option. He told Batman to stand down as he was attacking Tim Drake and Jason Todd. Batman chose violence. And so Nightwing, he went ahead and he answered that. All of this to be building up for one big thing. The Bat family is going to have to take down Batman. Because what's going on with Batman is really the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh is about to come out. With everything going on in his life, Bruce Wayne just can't take it. He needs a break. That is where Batman of Zur-En-Arrh is going to come into play. Bruce Wayne is going to get that break, but it will come at the cost of him being the one deep down in the subconscious. If he had only listened to everybody sooner, it would have never come to this. Because when the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh comes out, the Bat family will not hesitate to fight against him. If they think that Batman has already gone over the line now, when the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh shows up, they are gonna see what crossing the line truly looks like. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that is going on with Batman, I highly recommend that you check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership, much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.